Hello everyone and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. Today I'm going to be tying pattern number 3 in my book Plu Stiniog Trout Flies for North Wales by Emrys Evans. The pattern is called Rhwyfwr Robat Jos Siop, or Robert Jones the Shop Sedge. Robert Jones was a gentleman that owned a big department store in Congolawalm or in Manod between 1860 and 1910, and he decided that he was going to start selling fishing tackle, and he set up a fishing tackle department. And he found that the most popular patterns that sold the best were the local patterns, including the Rhwyfwr Cochddu Mawr, which he was forced in some ways to send off to be tied commercially by an English fly tying company. The patterns that came back weren't the same. They were completely different. I say completely, there was a lot of similarities as well. But rather than him sending them back, he sold them, and they proved to be quite effective and ended up being an half-decent fly pattern in their own right. And therefore it got its own name, the Rhwyfwr Robat Jos Siop. So I'm going to tie the pattern for you here on camera. We're going to need a couple of threads for this one. We're going to need our main tying thread, which is a uni in 8/0, but we're also going to need a primrose thread or silk for the butt. In the vise I've got a Camazan B117 size 8. For the rib we're going to need a gold wire by Vineyard. For the body we're going to be using mainly the claret dubbing this time. For the underwing we're going to be using a brown hen's feather according to the book. We're also going to be using some English grey partridge, these feathers here, probably for the hackle. And then I'm going to be using, rather than the tawny owl that's in the book, I'm going to be using Canada Goose primaries for the wing, which should hopefully produce a pattern that looks like this. I was going to show you when I'd finished, but I might forget, so I'm going to show you now. That's what we're going for there. So keep that in mind for when I finish the video. Okay, so we'll get started. We'll come in with the primrose thread in line with the point of the hook on the shank. And we're going to run that thread down just a few turns. And then trim away. And then we'll continue with that thread down to a point in line with the barb, a bit further down. There we go. Now the original pattern probably used a much thicker silk or floss. It does say silk in the book, but I haven't got a very thick one in the right colour, so we're just using what I've got basically. And then once you've tied your butt, then you're going to whip finish to change your thread. Like so. Then we're going to come in at the eye with the wine thread. And then we're going to stop about there. Trim away the excess now. I've got some wire that's pre-cut, ready to go. I tie that in now. And then take the thread down to the butt. Like so. And we'll get our claret dubbing. Now, according to the text in the book, the fly came back like a more red colour than the Rhwyfwr Cochddu Mawr. So we're just going to use the claret, I think, to try and emulate that. So twist that on. Now, I have already posted this pattern once and I didn't think it was very good, so I've done it again. In fact, I actually lost a subscriber after I posted that video, so I think it's worth doing again. They didn't tell me why they'd gone, but I think it was because of that. So then we're going to rib the fly. Fairly open turns, not too tight. I want to make sure you leave enough room for your hackle. There we go. Snap the wire away like so. If you pull the thread tight and give it a wobble, it will eventually go. I'm going to get a fairly large feather from this partridge. So we're going to strip away the fluff. So you're left with that. And get the English hackle pliers and trap the point, pull the fibres back. Tie that in. And I prefer these style of hackle pliers for actually winding hackles. They're Stonfo Elite Midge. You brush the fibres back, and that makes it a lot easier to get the shape that you want out of the hackle as well. And you end up with less fibres going forward that you have to sort out later as well. Tie it in. Trim away your stalk. And brush the hackle back and any unruly fibres that are going forward in preparation for tying the underwing. Now the underwing, according to the picture in the book, it seems to sit in between the wings in an upright vertical position, so we're going to try and emulate that now using one of these hen feathers. I want a fairly small one, not too big. I think that'll do it. I want it sitting closer to the body of the fly. That's more like it, that's what I was going for. There we are. Trim away your stalk, and then I'm going to do the wing closest to you. I have been practicing doing the wings at the same, both wings at the same time, and I can do it. I haven't had enough practice to do it on camera yet. Okay, that's that wing. And you want the wing to go just beyond the point, the bend of the hook. And that's the perfect length from what I can gather. There we are, trim away, and then you want to start tidying up. So you're coming at the eye, and then start building the head backwards. And that's how you end up with a nice, neat head. Then we'd finish. Trim away. Then varnish to finish. Might need more than one coat, but if you just want to get out and fish with it, then one coat's normally enough just to hold the knot. And there we are. That is Rhwyfwr Robat Jones's shop. Pattern number 3 in the book, Plu Stiniog. Just get the photo up for you again. So hopefully I'll get a thumbs up for that one. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.